we're getting so many people at that stage where they just want to sell. Like, I've had enough, I can't either recruit, or I'm barely making payroll, or there's not enough cash flow, I'm not enjoying my work-life balance. And you can understand when it's a situation where you feel you've gone that far and it's just like, okay, I need to start thinking about selling the business as an option. And even if you really are determined to sell the business, I feel that there's an element of really, have you looked at all the angles as to could you be more profitable if you made a few changes?
Yes.
But a lot of it is the mindset, really, isn't it? They've got the mindset of, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, and I think you have ups and downs as an owner anyway. You know, I definitely went through periods of time where I thought, okay, I'm ready. Then I absolutely wasn't. Then I was. Then no, I wanted to expand. You know, I think you just do. However kind of logically thinking you are, or however much you know that isn't really necessarily it. You still go, it's human nature to go through the ups and downs, but you're right. I think before you sort of take that plunge, you definitely want to reconsider and look at everything. But even if you're either way, you need to analyse the business and go back to the basics. And because if you're going to sell a business, then everything needs to be set in place. You know, your business structure and the operations needs to be spot on. That needs to be set so that someone coming in can see the operation, how it runs, and that everything is already, ideally, it's already in a place where it's ready just to say, there you go.
Use your business in a box.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And
you can sell it for the premium.
Exactly. And within that as well, you know, you've got not only your business kind of your operations and your structure, but that you're forecasting and budgeting the way that, you know, someone else can carry that forward as well. The team is set, the roles are set, everything is running as it should be. Whether you're in or you're out of the business, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't mean that you have to get it to a point where you're always out of it, but it needs to just be very clear in that this is the business, this is what it looks like, this is how it operates, this is what happens when this happens, and so on. So whether you're selling it or not anyway, because ideally that should be in place already.
I was going to say, it's kind of, you need to get it to that place regardless of whether you're selling it anyway or not. But there's also an element which again should be done whether you're selling it or not, is, you know, what opportunities do you have? Because okay, here's if I'm a buyer and I'm going to buy a business, I want to know there are key opportunities that perhaps I could focus on. Whether I choose to focus on those or not is my decision as the buyer. But I kind of need to see, yes, there is room for improvement, there's room to take in more money, isn't it? And that's a job in itself, to kind of have that forecasting.
Definitely, and actually, you know, going back to kind of a SWOT analysis of the business is quite a good idea, looking at the strengths and the weaknesses, the opportunities, and if there are any threats as well, because you've got to lay it on the table if you're coming to that point of selling it. So, I mean, and it doesn't mean at the point that you want to sell it that it means that it hasn't got a growth, or that you're not selling it for that reason. You might just be at a place where you've had it and you've done your time and you're ready to let it go. But yeah, I mean, whichever way you look at it, that's not a bad thing to do back in the business anyway. Because that might be something that you need to do in order to get you to a place where actually you think, no, okay, if I just do this, then actually that will make things run in a way which therefore mean that I don't feel the need to sell it.
And I was talking to an accountant at one point who deals with perhaps difficult cases. They're more than accountants that deal with real difficult cases of perhaps there's a director's loan that's unpaid, or there's been a lot of difficulties financially, etc. And he was saying that there's always an aspect of the mindset around the sale of that business, because whether you like it or not, you still need to be appealing, isn't it? But when you're in that situation, your mind is so perhaps on burnout mode in some respect, and you can't see a way out. But there is, and he was saying that I think a lot of people don't realise there's a lot of solutions in front of them.
Yeah.
But they're not seeing that anymore because they're in it 24/7.
Yeah, and also just feeling comfortable with the fact that a business actually generally tends to operate like that, in terms of that you are sort of, the money is juggled, and there sometimes is a director's loan, or there is this or there is that. And I think we've had a discussion before about not feeling scared about, you know, because ultimately when you're running a business, generally you're not going to have this. I mean, some of our clients do, but a lot of clients don't have this huge cash flow or cash injections. Yeah. So you kind of do borrow off Peter to pay Paul, and then, you know, you're juggling things around, and it's how it works. But as long as you can showcase, you know, these are the reasons why, and this is here because of this. But also there's a huge element of selling the business is based around the database that you've got, the reputation that you've built,
the Google reviews,
the Google reviews, the kind of website that comes with it, everything that comes with the business. So it's not just valuing the business on what's coming in and what's going out. There's so much more to a value of a business, such as in the industry that we're talking about.
For sure. And ultimately, let's say you really are in a position where you've had enough, you want to sell. It doesn't mean you have to have all these ticks that we've just mentioned, isn't it? You can just sell perhaps as a less premium price.
Yeah.
Or you might have to put the keys under the doors, which has been some cases, especially since the pandemic, that we've dealt with, where actually there was not even time to sell. So it's knowing, for me it's always knowing in the mindset that if you are going to go into something else, you've got to be kind of ready as well, isn't it? That otherwise you're going to feel disgruntled, or I should have, could have, etc.
Yes,
and absolutely. I think that's perhaps a very difficult situation, and very difficult pill to swallow, I guess, in terms of and it's your baby.
Exactly, that's exactly what I was going to say. Most people have tended to build a business from the ground up, and have got it to the place it is through pure hard work and determination
and passion, which is what we hear a lot in the industry.
Exactly, and it's you, isn't it? It is part of you, and like you said, it becomes another child if you've got children, or not, as the case maybe, but it does become your baby. So you've got to really consider what that looks like when you let that go as well. And a plan for yourself as well.
Yeah,
you know,
that's it. Plan for yourself.
A plan for yourself. Know what you want to do. You know, because actually, the idealistic view of thinking, you know, that once that's done,
I'll be fine.
But actually, when you're so used to being in that business and being part of such a, you know, vibrant kind of vibe, I suppose, to then do something completely different. I'm not saying it will be bad, but you just need to consider.
Adjust.
Yeah, and know that there will be an adjustment period, and what is your plan going forward as well.
Yeah, so ultimately we're saying contact the you kind of need to have it valued, right?
Yes.
The first step.
Yes.
To know where you are. Definitely kind of ultimately understand the business and the opportunities that it has, because a lot of people we've dealt with actually in the end never sold their business.
No.
Because they were quite happy to carry on with a different structure, with a different operation. But it takes, again, if you're going to change that mindset, it takes a huge amount of, not a huge amount, I don't want to feel like it's a big mountain to climb, but it takes you to change the way you're functioning and you're working in order to change the business. Otherwise you'll have exactly the same results all the time. So all you have to do now is press the subscribe button and join us every week for an Inside Chat.
And if you have any burning questions that we haven't yet answered, then just pop in the comments below or send us an email, and we can include them in one of our weekly chats.
And also we have started this amazing community of like-minded salon owners to join us on a monthly basis with our Inside Chat subscription.
Yeah, on that chat as well, you'll also get access to lots of free downloads and content that can really support you in your business.
And thank you so much for listening.
And we'll see you next time.